This is a prime example of like when Wrestling Observer shows you like they really are in it with AEW. I'm just gonna say that right now. But I want to look at this because it's gonna go into my review of AEW. But I want you to see what they said about the show if you haven't already.
I'm going to say a lot about it, but go ahead.
Okay. They put on a good show.
To you, they put on a good show. It's always they put on a good show. Bro, this is the same shit each and every week. These tag matches, the nonsense with the storytelling. You want to build to your big show, but they don't know how to do that because this shit is every week to week. When we get into the dynamite portion of this shit, man, I got a lot to say.
I mean, actually, a really good show in front of a freaking terrible audience.
Now, I got to stop it right there. Now, yes, the audience is not the problem. I hate it when people say, the audience is dead. So, it's something wrong with them. It's something wrong with the people. That's your personal opinion. But just like a Rotten Tomatoes audience score, they're going to tell you exactly what they think about this show. These people are tired of seeing the exact same thing week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out. That's why I stopped watching this show sometimes because it's the same thing. It doesn't make any sense at all. So you blame the crowd because they're not into it because you're into these matches. Because you want to big AEW up so much. You want to keep them in that limelight. But I'm sorry, you cannot excuse bad writing. You're so focused on these matches, and the matches weren't any good at all.
I mean, that, between the Ospreay thing, it's bad when Tony Schiavone congratulates Will Ospreay, who gets the biggest reactions on the shows most weeks about getting married, and you get the golf clap. It's like it's not even big, and I mean everyone probably expected that to be huge, and that first match, which was a hell of a match with Moxley and Daniel Garcia against Brody King and Bandito, and they did get into the last match. But the Mercedes match, like those two, my God, they worked so hard.
They were dead in that match. I'm talking about dead. Like Sub-Zero's father in Mortal Kombat 1.
They tried to duplicate their match from Long Beach. I don't know if it was quite as good as Long Beach, but man, Hazuki was really good, and they did get the crowd. I mean, it took them 20 minutes practically to get that crowd, and doing everything and all these near falls and working so hard and fast. I mean, it like literally, it took 20 minutes before these people would get into these matches, other than the main event, the 12-man, which was what it was. But it was like, and that did get a pretty decent reaction. And I heard in the, we'll talk about Collision later, but I heard Mystico got a giant reaction on Collision, especially the entrance. But they didn't, I don't think that they added any specific matches on Collision either. But yeah, it's the worst. It's like, I don't know what they could have done, because it's like the promos didn't get a reaction. The matches didn't get a reaction until the very end. And Tony booked a show thinking that he was going to have these three great matches on the show.
Because Tony Khan thinks that AEW is like WWE 2K26 universe mode. He just books these matches. He doesn't think about the story. He doesn't think about the build. He doesn't think about the emotional roller coasters that a feud can really take you for that big match to pay off the person whom you're trying to push.
Because he knew the Mercedes match with, Hazuki had been like literally, like, people yelled at me for giving it 4 3/4 stars.
He gave that match 4 3/4 stars. Well, when we go to it, I'll say what I gotta say about it.
That's how great the match was, for being too low. And, it was one of the best women's matches ever.
Bro, can you stop? Like, I'm just, when he makes these claims like this, it's just like I can see through it, and I know that you're just trying to glaze these folks up. But guess what? That crowd was dead until like the end of it.
United States ever, that match. And so when you have that, I thought, it's going to be too bad because he's going to go and rightly so. It's a TV show. Give him 15 minutes. It can't meet what the other one is. Well, he went in there and he went with the idea that I'm giving him 22 minutes. They're going to be able to come close to duplicating that match. That was the goal. And, you have a Brody King Bandito match. And it's like, those guys are such a great
Well,
team.
if I may jump in here,
Yes.
This is all fine and good, but you're also performing before a live audience in a specific town. And how many people in this audience saw the first Hazuki match?
Exactly. None of these people know who these people are. I didn't know who the hell she was. Because each and every week, somebody comes out there from another promotion that you have never heard of, that you're automatically supposed to know, because Tony Khan books for the internet people. He books for the internet, the sickos, as he calls them. None of these people know who this girl is, and then she came in here and she lost.
Well, the nobody had seen it in Long Beach either.
Well, the point is, they got into the match in the end, but they weren't invested in the match going in.
No, they weren't.
And they weren't invested in the Bandito match going in. And I realize that sometimes I'm out all afternoon, but I had no idea that match was taking place.
Oh, well,
absolutely no idea. It was just a cold match. It's just Broditos facing the Death Riders.
Well,
exactly. It doesn't make any sense. Like, what are you building towards? What are you building towards? Why even have that match? Why even have that tag match? It served no purpose. It did nothing. So why even have it? He just wanted to put it on the TV just to put it on the TV, cuz.
Well, okay, so
that's all fine and good, but what's the story of that match?
Exactly. What is the story of it? It just got put together.
What's going on there? What's going to get the crowd invested from the beginning of this match? What's going to get them invested if the audience is great?
Okay, well,
going in, it's like it wasn't even. There was no angle shot. There was no announcement last week that Brodito was coming back.
Exactly. Nothing. They just showed up together on the show. It's just like I can't this show AEW, bro. I'm doing it for y'all because I think y'all need like a perspective.
There was no angle to put this match together. It just opened with a match.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, it had its purpose, but
this man said it had its purpose. That's what I'm talking about, bro. Like, man.
It was Houston, Texas, and it was Bandito who, when he's been in Houston, Texas, gets over like crazy. This was just a crowd.
Okay, so if he gets over like crazy, then why aren't they pushing him? Can somebody explain that to me? If this man is saying that they get over like crazy, then why aren't they being pushed? So you just put him on the card just so he can get a reaction? But you have no plans of what to do with him. That's my point with everybody in this company. They have no plans of what to do with them. It's just like, hey, man, you got a match tonight, a tag match. Okay, where is this going? Well, I don't know. We just going to put it on TV. What?
That, look, like if you, again, Will Ospreay and Swerve have been building this thing up for this whole tournament. They were out there and they had that long promo segment and the people didn't react. I mean,
it was also a very, very long promo segment, and Swerve's out there talking about how one day I just was sent home for 6 weeks because
I don't really know what that was.
I didn't either, and
me neither. It's like, what are you talking about, bro? It's like you sitting here trying to be like, I'm the baddest man on the planet. Man, sit your ass down somewhere, cuz.
They're thinking, this crowd's sitting here watching these guys talk about a lot of stuff for a long time, and I'm recapping it, kind of going, okay, what are you talking about here? I mean, it was long.
Okay, I agree. I agree. It was too long. Okay, but
Pause.
the fact is they're like Swerve is one of the most over guys in the company. Will is probably right now the most over guy in the company, and they both came out and they got a tepid reaction. I mean, I won't say tepid, but they got a weak reaction. It was stunningly weak, and it's like they're already starting below zero. I mean,
it's because they just. It's like, what is there to get excited for? AEW is not known for having a good promos and shit like that. They're not known for that. They're known for just putting on good wrestling matches. But it's like, bro, a good wrestling match with no story, you're just sitting there. It's just background noise. Give me something to explain why these two are fighting as hard as they possibly can. And that's what this company is right here. And I'm like sick of it. I'm sick of it. We go to AEW. Let's just start here with AEW because I'm tired of listening to people glaze this company trying to make it seem like it's something that it is really not. Look at all these people right here. Now, all of these people can be like legit stars if they build them properly and build them right. But they're all just like a mix match group of just heels who are doing absolutely nothing. How many times have you heard about Kyle Fletcher being the next big thing in AEW? Look, he is no different. He is no better than when he signed with this company. He has not been elevated a lick. I still don't know what he's about. Look at Okada. A man who is a national treasure in Japan, but he is over here in this goofball group with all of these other people. And I don't understand it. I really don't. MJF is right here, and he's talking about that tonight they're going to have a 12-man. So they're going to have the 12-man tag match tonight. I thought it was going to be at Forbidden Door, and it was going to be a cage match. But what I'm thinking that this is now, I'm thinking that they're going to do the 12-man that night, and then they were going to do it again at the pay-per-view, but it's going to be in a steel cage. I don't understand how all that is going to work. This show was terrible. Amongst many weeks of being terrible, and everybody in there is just being wasted. This is just, it's like you look at this and then you're like, oh my gosh, like what is all this is for? What is all this is gonna do? Like they just do stuff like week to week, month to month, no build, no nothing. And you got the Young Bucks right here. You got Jack Perry right there. His contract is up, but he has yet to sign a new deal. And I'm pretty sure that he's going to re-sign with AEW. I mean, why wouldn't he? He's getting some good guaranteed money. He ain't got to do nothing. But let me tell you something. You're going to get tired of that because you're going to be like, man, what the hell? I kind of want to be a pro wrestler and kind of want to win championships because that's what you do. But here we are with this right here, and we got the Young Bucks. And the crowd was dead because it's AEW theater. If you thought that the Young Bucks was going to be the biggest thing in the world, man, I'm sorry to bust your fucking bubble. These indie fucking people are not finna be no main stars. I thought that Kenny Omega was going to be a main star, and he's not. He's not. But to the internet wrestling community, he is the best thing going. I'm sorry. I don't see it. This match just went on. I don't know. Like, it had a good time of, like, when they had a good time. They had a lot of time on this show. As you can see, it's AEW theater, and we're off to the races tonight. And as you look at these folks, no one is reacting, and Brody is trying to get people to react. These people see this same shit each and every fucking week. Times we gonna see Bandito. How about we push him? How about we push him somewhere? But he's in the exact same spot he's been in since he came into this fucking company. The same can be said about Brody King. Same thing can be said about Daniel Garcia, too. This match went on for so long, bro. So fucking long this match went on. And just like that man said, like, what's the reason for this? This ain't finna go nowhere. No story, no build, no pre-match story. You got Bandito down at the bottom right there looking at this shit because he got to get in there for his spot. Like, I don't understand what we're going to do with this. It's like 1 minute you got people cheering the Death Riders and you got the next minute they're in there wrestling faces. I don't understand this. This is just sad. Both of them are. This is just, it looked like they're in a hospital somewhere. Like, it's like, it's like, you're not doing anything with these two right here. You got one guy in Okada who should be the world champion by now. And you got another guy whom everyone say is like the face of the AEW. He's a star in the making. Bro, he's in the exact same position that all these other people be in eventually. Just a guy on the roster just doing shit. And then you got the grumpy old man is what I call them. And they are the tag team champions. They're old. What's the deal with all these old champions in wrestling now? They're just clinging on to it. Edge and Christian, they're like, bro, we just need to make some money. We need to make some money. This shit look like a theater. And this match right here went on for too long. Not much happening. They're doing rehearsed moves here and there. Look at that crowd. No one is reacting. Oh my gosh. That's just terrible because you see the same thing every week. So when you go there and you're looking at this shit, it's just like, man, what is there to be excited about? We're not going to see any story play out. We're not going to see anything like that. They think that if they just put on long matches that means something. But you can have a long match. You can just have people there, but you're just going to end up just look at these people. They're just sitting down, just watching this and not reacting. And that's like the worst thing you can do. But then, like, they want to sit there and say, oh, my gosh, it was the crowd. The crowd did not the crowd was dead. It's the crowd's fault because AEW was great tonight. No, AEW is the same that it's always been. And I'm thinking right now that people are starting to see it. Way too long. Way too long. They gave these women, I don't know how long, 30 minutes? It went on way too long. It felt like an hour.
The wife said she knows how much this tournament means to me. She said, stay focused. We can go Hawaii whenever you want. Go chase your dream. Yeah, I got a good wife, eh? So here's what I did to treat her. I took her upstairs. I smashed the life out of her, bruv. I said, babe, clean yourself up. I gotta go Houston.
Sorry, but that shit got me. That shit tickled me. This man said, that man fucked his wife. Clean yourself up, baby. I gotta go to Houston. And here comes this guy. Man, this promo between these two, this is exactly what AEW theater is. No one's reacting. Everyone's looking at it like it's a play. Nothing is really taken seriously. The whole time I was looking at this promo, I was like, I don't understand where all this is going. I know that Swerve is going to lose. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he wins. But everything is leading up to Wembley, and it should be bigger than what this is right here. These people just came out here and they just talked. They didn't talk about anything significant. They just came out here and just cut a long promo that took up like at least 20 minutes. The segment was like 20 minutes, bro. There was no wrestling on this show whatsoever besides like 3 matches. Everything else was taken up by long, drawn-out promos in front of a dead crowd who's just seen enough of this shit. But then you want to blame the crowd, though. It's easy to blame the crowd. How about you blame the people? How about you blame Tony Khan for not like writing or not getting together or putting together like a solid show? But we got like 30, 20 some minute matches, all that shit. So while they're doing their little AEW theater spot, they about to go at it. Look, ain't nobody's reacting. No one is reacting. That is terrible for your wrestling show. That no one is reacting, yet you are trying to react as if they are reacting loud and proud and shit. And here comes the Death Riders. Because they want to make sure that Ospreay is well protected for when he goes to Wembley and win that championship. Speaking of things that just like really don't make sense, but like I guess, I mean, so we have the 12-man match now. I thought that match was going to take place at Forbidden Door in the cage, like I said, but we're having the match now, and then we're going to get the match again at Forbidden Door. Please tell me why that is. Does that make any sense to you? It doesn't make a lick of sense. So you're having the same match now, but then you're going to have the match, and then you're going to have the match in a cage. You have the same match, but then you got the heels over there who want to get a world title shot against MJF. So they're not going to really like, I don't know. I'm not trying to make sense of this shit no more. Because none of this shit makes sense anymore. So, like, the stipulation is, like, if his team wins, then he doesn't defend the title against Mark Briscoe. Man tapped out as soon as he got in the hold. So, by that win, he shouldn't defend his championship against him, right? He won the 12-man tag match. So we're going to have the same shit again at Forbidden Door. Why? Why have the match now? I don't. I throw my hands up at this shit. It's like, yeah, we're going to give you this 12-man match here, but then we're going to give it to you again in a cage match. He already beat them, so he shouldn't defend the title, right? I'm done. I don't know what to make sense of this show. I really want to stop watching this. I really do.